Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. This watch was launched in late 2024 as you see it here. It is the prince of the Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meters. And by that, I mean this Seamaster Diver 300 meters is crafted from exquisite 18-karat Moonshine Gold. It is massive, 152.57 grams. It's one of the heaviest strap watches I've measured recently. 42 millimeters in diameter. It's 13.9 millimeters thick from lug to lug, 50 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. Throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and it wears beautifully, easy, comfortable. You can see across the wrist, it's broad, but not so broad that I couldn't recommend it for a wrist maybe even a little bit smaller than mine. Let's say my wrist is 16 centimeters. I think this could work on a 15 centimeter circumference wrist. And it does sort of snug down and sit lower than its thickness, so it should have no trouble fitting underneath the cuff if you do want to wear it with formal attire. And being full gold, that's a reasonable ask of this watch. The strap is a beautifully coordinated sort of olive green strap. I would say it's probably more British racing green than olive green, and that describes it generally. Olive green is more of a utilitarian military tone of green. This is a little bit richer and darker. This is more like British racing green. And you can see that we've got texture, striation, sort of a matte finish on the strap, which conforms perfectly to the lug profile and the case curvature. On the bottom, you can see little waves reminding us that this is a dive watch. But you can see the buckle, simple, elegant, appropriate. A combination of polish, satination, even on little details like the Omega logo. Bevels on the side, thoughtfully detailed. Lyre-style lugs. We have the inward bevel, we have the outward bevel. It's an artful design we've long seen on Omega sports watches, really since the early 60s. The Diver 300 meter line originated in 1993 and first sailed on the wrist of James Bond in 1995. When Pierce Brosnan played 007 in GoldenEye. Now, interesting fact, that first one was actually a quartz watch, but the next 3 times he was Bond, he wore the mechanical chronometer. Perhaps because of the success of the James Bond product placement, this design became such a classic that even as the rest of the Seamaster collection, the Aquaterras, the Planet Oceans, the Seamaster 300s came and developed, this design has more or less been static because it has such a place in the hearts of Omega enthusiasts. It's really been the first Seamaster design that has transcended obsolescence. Before 1993, the Seamaster would be redesigned every 5 to 10 years. This design, more or less, is what debuted in 1993. So for the first time, the Seamaster can really say that it has been as evergreen as the Rolex Submariner since 1993. The case is simple and elegant. We have satin and profile. We have a 120-click bezel, but it's got a very shallow knurling, so you're going to want to set this before your hands get wet during your dive. "120 clicks. I will say the latest versions of this bezel have the lightest action ever. So in terms of how much force it actually takes to turn them, this is as low as it's ever been. It's a very positive 120 click action. We've got a helium escape valve. Saturation divers who work with exotic gas mixtures do one long decompression following dives that could last, frankly, days or even weeks. So as you decompress, helium that's built up inside the watch needs to escape. Once you've opened this little peanut butter cup shaped knob, you can see HE, helium escape. Helium gas will exit through this valve when internal pressure exceeds external pressure by 2 to 3 bar. The insert on the bezel is made of ceramic, and then the gold, this is called Cera Gold, it's co-molded to the ceramic, so these gold inserts can never separate. The dial is made of green ceramic, and you can see it says zirconium oxide right there. That's the telltale. It's got the famous waves made legendary by the 1990s version, which also debuted the famed skeleton or Bond-style hands. Now, there have been other dial variants on these through the years in different handsets, but this is the classical tandem, the skeleton hands and the wave dial. Pierce Brosnan never had it this good, though. You can see that the applique indices are an upscale feature. Bond's version of this watch would have had printed features. Now, the nice thing about a ceramic dial is that it gives you the beauty and the luster and the longevity and durability of enamel without the cost or the fragility of enamel, and so it's really the best of both worlds. You can see the watch demonstrate. Hacking seconds, so you can stop the seconds and set it to a reference time. And then there is a quick set for the date. We have a chaptering outboard for reading the minutes and the seconds. And no shortage of luminescence. You can see that the bezel pearl and the minute hand are both green. Everything else is blue, so you can read those two critical timing references relative to each other at a glance. Also note that the seconds hand is loomed here. Not every dive watch does it, but every dive watch should. So you can see that your dive timer is running if you're diving deep below ambient light or you're diving at night. Moonshine Gold, what does it mean? Well, it's an 18-karat yellow gold that's designed to never change color. The color of gold can actually drift over time, mostly because of secondary ingredients in 18-karat gold. So this is designed to start as a very pale gold, almost a vintage look, like maybe 7-karat, 9-karat, or 14-karat, but it won't change with time. So that is what this Moonshine Gold is like. It's almost like a little bit of a straw gold. And turning this all over now, you can see that on this $35,000 retail watch, we do get a few tricks. So this is not just the 8800 here, this is the 8801 with an 18-karat rose gold rotor and then a solid gold balance bridge. So it's a automatic with a 55-hour power reserve, hacking, stop seconds. It's got a coaxial escapement, which is a double impulse, direct and indirect impulsing system. But the shakeout is that this system, devised by George Daniels, uses tangential friction rather than the sliding friction that you get on a Swiss lever with the draw and the run to banking. So this is a lower friction system for better accuracy, lower maintenance, better power reserve. Again, a movement with 35 pivot joules, 55-hour power reserve, arabesque Côte de Genève across the bridges, some machine bevels that are nevertheless handsome, blackened and polished screws. It has a silicon SI-14 hairspring, anti-magnetic escapement, and balance wheel. So this watch is anti-magnetic to over 15,000 Gauss. That's not a maximum, it's a minimum. Also with the full balance bridge and the free sprung balance, we have more shock resistance, and of course, it is a weird beat rate of 25,200 vibrations per hour that is probably specific to the silicon hairspring. That's probably why they're doing that. Now, it is a master chronometer. So what does that mean? Well, a master chronometer is everything a COSC chronometer is, but it's more. A standard created with the Swiss Federal Institute of Metrology, or METAS. It's a test of the fully assembled watch for chronometry, water resistance, durability, anti-magnetism, power reserve, and winding efficiency. All these things are tested, and thus the watch you get is a better all-around product than if it were just COSC testing of the bare movement. And the timing standards are exacting, no worse than -0 + 5 seconds per 24 hours. So this watch is stacked. If you love this watch, green and gold is a classic combination. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.